Hi, and welcome to Talking Sports once again. I have with us another great guest today. He's an old friend of mine. His name is Vin Gleason. Vin, it's nice to have you here.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to walk you through your life a little bit. So tell us a little bit about your family.
Oh boy, where do I begin? I guess if you want to go back to when I was a kid, I started my days on the old Bradford Street playground.
Bradford.
I grew up on that street with my grandmother and my uncles, I just how it is,
Right.
And then today I'm a family man. I have a wife, two kids, and
That's great.
that's about it.
Back in those days, they had like a playground for every section of the city, if you thought about it. I think we had 26 playgrounds at one time.
Wow.
I think we're down to about 6 now, so
Yeah.
it's kind of scary. I guess we're shrinking a little bit. So, well, tell us a little bit more about your family, if you care to.
Sure. I'm married. I have
Okay.
two kids. My
All right.
wife Jamie, and I have two kids in high school, which I'm still trying to figure out how that's possible at this time, because I don't really feel that old. But
Right.
but yeah, they've both of my kids were Children's Miracle Network kids from birth, so
Okay.
they've had some trials and hardships, but they've learned volunteerism and how to help other people, and that's the most important thing to me and my family.
Oh, that's great. Have you lived in Auburn most of your life, or?
All of my life but 1 year, where I
Except
lived in
1 year?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, good. Oh, that's great. How about nicknames? You got a nickname that we can?
I have a
Rash
couple that
about?
we probably can't put on the air that
Okay.
people have probably given me
We all
over the
got
years.
those.
But when I was younger, they called me the Flash because I was quick.
Okay.
I've had numerous ones over the years.
They're a lot of fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Where primarily then was your family home? Where were you living then?
Like I said, I grew up a lot on Bradford Street. I
Bradford
spent a lot
Street.
of my time on Bradford Street.
Okay.
My grandmother's house or with the neighborhood kids, and my uncle now lives on Bradford Street.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the playgrounds that still remains in Auburn.
Yep.
It's still there. So.
yeah, the court's missing, but
Yeah, right.
I spent most of my days playing basketball at the
Yeah.
playground there,
That's
or
great.
wiffle ball.
A lot of fun. What schools did you attend back then?
I went to Blessed Trinity from K 2 times. Apparently, I couldn't color in the lines, so they held me back a year, and all the way through 8th grade,
Right.
and then Auburn High for 4 years.
Oh, good. Very good. Did you play sports at Auburn High?
I did. I played basketball. A
Who
lot
was
of
coaching then? Do you remember?
Oh, geez. I mean, I most of my career I spent with Nick Diego,
Right.
TJ Gamba, a lot of great people in the community.
Both those guys are excellent people. They
Oh,
really are.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably two people that gave me my work ethic today.
Yeah. Good souls. So, yeah. How about work career? What's happening with work?
With work, I started my career in the early 90s with Walmart for 5 years. I went over to Staples for a couple years, and then I went and ran pharmacies for 7 years out in Syracuse. Came back to the Auburn community where I ran the Run for Life from 2007 to 2013 when you came across me at the mall.
That's right.
And
Yep.
I was at the mall for up until this past January, and then I went out on my own, and the rest is history.
Thank you for letting me have that room out there at the mall for quite a while.
Absolutely.
So that was nice. So I have plenty of photos that I can display, so that helps a lot when you gave me that. So thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. I enjoyed that time. That was and even when you stopped doing it and I started doing it for a couple of years, it
Right.
was a great piece of. I learned so much about the Auburn community and surrounding area that I never knew before.
It is a good learning experience.
Oh,
'cause
it is.
they generally tell you what's going on with them, so without a doubt. So, how about some of the funnier moments in your life? Anything you can think of that can be told? Some can't be told.
Oh,
I
the cat.
understand.
Yeah, there's a lot that he might be hitting the censor button on over there, but I've got a lot of funny moments. I know I put a lot on the list, but I'm gonna go off the cuff. And some of the funnier moments in my life were, a lot of people knew me from being a philanthropist for many years before I started at the mall.
Right.
But I had 2 years that I was a stand-up and singing comedian, and I would host these shows for charity, and a lot of the words weren't you know, a lot of the words had beeps on them, and they'd be like, "I
What's
never
the
knew you
beep
said that."
represent?
I probably can't say that on camera.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just want to be sure.
But a lot of people would be like, "Wow, we never knew you had this side to you." But that's always been how the way I was, whether it was you know, with running or comedy or with music. I just always felt like I'm going to learn to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the best at it, and that's going to be it.
Good for you. Good for you. Funny moments. How many funny moments have you had over the years that can be told?
Lots. I mean, I can't even. I can't even fathom. I mean, at the mall, so many crazy things happened.
Right.
I couldn't even tell you how many strange occurrences happened when I was at the mall, whether it be, you know, we had some paranormal expos over there, and a lot of strange things happened to me there that I kind of didn't believe in that stuff. And when I left, I was like, maybe I do now.
That's for real.
I mean, there was a lot of funny moments with just interacting with different people over there that I probably can't comment on, but
I understand.
it was just, there's so many I can't even go into it.
Right. What do you like best about Auburn?
Auburn, I like the history.
The history. Has
The
a
history
rich
is.
history, no question.
I mean, even walking in here, you look at all the rich history, all the articles, and there's been so many things done here that I don't think other communities would ever even come close to that.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many historical, the Seward House, the museums. You have,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the parks, the Emerson Park. You have so many things in our community within 3 square miles that,
Sure.
you know, when I lived down in Maryland, to get anything like that, you'd have to drive 20, 30 minutes to get a couple of those items.
Oh, sure. It's amazing. Oh, that's great. Living in Auburn, it's changed over the years. Anything you'd like to see maybe change that would help our community, or?
Well, I'm not really one to start some fires on TV, but I mean, I would just, the thing I've always strived for in Auburn is unity. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I was running the nonprofit, I worked hard to bring people together, sometimes at my own expense, and I really didn't mind that. But sometimes the community seems to get held up in a lot of different politics, and over the years, a lot of people told me I should be running for different things, and I said, listen, I ran once. And that was back when I was in my 30s. I'm never running for anything again, unless it's for my life. So then I'll run again. But that's really it. I mean, I just like to see Auburn. And in a lot of different areas, we're doing great on that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other areas where maybe I feel that, you know, when I was at the mall, I built a little empire based on partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can do that as a community as well.
Right. Well, good. Work in it.
I'm going to be back working on that next
I hope
year.
so. I hope so. Then what's happening down at Falcon Park? I know you're involved with that, so.
Yeah, I mean, you have the big 3 down there. You have Adam, Shane, and Andy. But I'm trying to help them in any way I can down there. You know, with the current company I'm working with, in order to bring you know, a digital appearance to the park this year. I'm hoping this week we're going to reach an agreement. It looks good as of yesterday, so we're you know, not only will it help upgrade the facade of the park a little bit, but it'll help bring more revenue to the team, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Right.
Not only will it bring revenue to our company, but it'll bring more revenue to the team that they never had before,
Right.
and it'll help make it more sustainable.
Yeah. That's a large part of the community. I hope they can keep that going, so. Yeah.
I do too. I mean, I hadn't attended any games the last couple of years because of some things going on there. You know, I like to work hand in hand with the people that are there, and you know, this year I attended more games this year than I have the last probably 10 years, and there was a better community feel. I mean, you know, Adam's a community guy. He's out there shaking everybody's hands all the time. He's out there meeting and greeting people. You got, you know, Shane's on the microphone running around like a banshee 24 hours a day and singing and doing everything, you know, getting people involved, and he's amazing at doing that. And then you got Andy running around the stadium too, getting people involved, and that's something I don't think the team has had since, I'll go back to the Auburn Astros days. I mean, when my uncle and I were season ticket holders, and I would run around that stadium, and they were always getting kids involved in different activities.
Right.
And it was shocking to see that. I brought my whole family this year, and that was the first thing that my kids mentioned, where they feel like they're more part of the team by being at the event, which something I think was lacking in years past.
Now, you said your uncle, is that John Miller, or is that?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a terrific guy. He really is.
Yep.
I ran into him several times over at Wells because Chris was still playing there, and he took a lot of shots and like that. But
Oh, he's everywhere.
he's tremendous. Great guy. Yeah.
He's all
He
over
must
the
have
place.
more photos than anybody, I think.
I think between him and my cousin, they're probably going for a Guinness record somewhere.
They might get it too.
You know, as we speak, he's doing a photo job for me now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's great because he goes out to all these different schools and takes photos, and a lot of times he donates senior pictures to kids that otherwise couldn't afford it. And there's nobody that I remember in the last couple decades that does that. So hats off to him on that.
He's a good-hearted guy. No
Absolutely.
question about it. Yep.
And it's something great because it's another member of my family that, you know, is living proof of philanthropy, of the giving back.
Oh, yeah. Now, how old is John now, would you say?
I'm not going live about that. I'm not going to get hurt.
Okay.
Let's just say he's a little younger than you. He's in his 20s.
Okay, all right. He's in his 20s. All right, that's good.
That might keep me in the family.
Let's see here. What do we got now?
I think we'll talk a little bit about the trick or trot if you want.
Oh, that'd be fine. Yeah.
You know,
Wherever you
for
wanna
the
go.
last, when I went over to the mall, I stopped the trick or trot because every year it got bigger. And every year, not only did the event get bigger, but the bill got bigger to the point where I wasn't able to give back as much money because wherever I went, the fees just kept getting bigger and bigger. So I stopped it because it just, not only was it a year undertaking, each year round, but it just took its toll. So, you know, happy to announce that in October 7th, 2018, it'll be brought back at the Apple Station Event Center out in Union Springs.
Oh, good.
I've signed pretty much a lifetime agreement with them. They're excited about the events I can bring.
Okay.
So there won't be that overhead. I'll be able to use that event to give back to multiple charities in the area.
Terrific.
And that's what's most important to me.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
So,
very good. Yeah.
This year I received over 60 messages on social media about the event. Hey, when are you bringing the event back? I don't know why this year so many people spammed me about it. And I just finally said, you know what, let me see if I can reach a deal and bring the event back, and we'll be doing so next year.
Oh, that's terrific. Keep up the good work. We need it.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I mean, I'm not going to be out there running, so anybody's got those high hopes that I'll be coming back, that's not going to happen. But I'll be out there directing the event, and it'll be a great event for families. I mean, it'll be an event where families can come out, and there'll be multiple events going on. Not only the race, there'll be live music, there'll be costume contests. You know, I'm notorious for giving out the most awards at my events, sometimes upwards into 200 and 250 awards. A lot of times at the event, I like to have 20 or 30 awards that nobody knows about, and then I just go up and hand them to somebody at random.
Okay.
I like to do things like that. So that craziness will be back this year.
I think me and Steve should get in this, so we could use that, so without a doubt. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to race you because you guys are much faster than I am these days, because I know how fast you are as a sprinter
I'm
right
pretty
now.
quick yet. I'll
Billy
tell you.
Martin told me
Billy
how
Martin
fast a
told
sprinter
you,
you
well,
are. So.
He never lies, I'll tell you that. So.
No, he told me you beat Usain Bolt, and I believe it. So ever since then, I'm staying away from racing you.